Well, hello everybody. It's Marcus, and welcome to more chatting in my jungle room. Today I'm talking to my dear friend. He is, of course, Shaun Holton, and he's going to be doing a show in Adelaide called Farnsey at the Regal Theatre. Shaun, hey, how are you?
Good, Marcus. Nice to see you again.
How have you been? Life busy?
It has been busy. We basically kind of came to like a big end of a massive run. So it was just like a big flow-on effect pretty much from like the middle of last year to March. And I got away and I went and slept in the rain with some friends and family for a few days, and we were cold and it was very uncomfortable, but it was a wonderful time and we would do it again.
Look, Shaun, I'm going to put it out there. There's many things that I would do in my life, but camping is probably not one of them. I'm not very good with.
Ah,
I do love
I've
the.
got to, we've got to take you camping.
Good luck.
Yeah. We could glam it up a bit. Like we could do some glamping,
Okay, let's try
make it
that. Okay,
nice.
that I could possibly do. That
Yeah.
could, yeah. We'll give it a whirl. Look, you know what? You should try everything at least once, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We've got a teepee. It's a large teepee.
That sounds fun. That sounds
Yeah.
fun. All right.
That's basically like the what's the fancy like what's the fancy flat at the top? The penthouse. The teepee is like the penthouse of camping.
Like kind of like the top of the arc.
Exactly.
There
Yeah.
we go. And speaking of the Arc, I obviously saw the Farnsey show when it was part of the Adelaide Fringe at the Arc. An incredible show, like just wow. I mean, I don't. I mean, we're going to break all of the show down totally, but I'm so excited. But I'm going to ask you right now, why John Farnham? What is it about John that attracts you to his music?
Well, John's basically, as I'm sure he is to many people from my generation, probably generations after me, and definitely a bunch beforehand. Like, I feel like John Farnham was everybody's second dad, and like even down to the point where, like, when you're a bit younger, you're like, you love dad, but he's a bit goofy and he's a bit embarrassing. And then you get a bit older and you're like, actually, you know what? I love everything about this guy. And so, yeah, so I had my biological dad, and then I had the man of my mother's dreams who infiltrated our life in every facet. So once upon a time, my mum was a cheeky single young woman with her cousin and her friends breaking into John Farnham's dressing room, and they managed to get into close proximity with him. My mum may or may
Wow,
not have planted a kiss on him as they were
wow.
being escorted out of there. So he might actually be my dad. Who knows?
What?
It could be. And so a couple of years ago, my mum's birthday was coming up, and I just had this random idea. I was driving to see them through Mount Compass, and I don't know if a John Farnham song came on or whatever. And I don't know if it was me or my wife Antonika who said like, "Oh, you should. Does anybody, does anybody do this?" And I was like, "Well, not really around here." She was like, "That would be your mum would be just so excited." So I put on the ultimate birthday gift. I'm the youngest of three, so it had to be a gift that like couldn't be topped. I am definitely claimed the spot of the number one son. And so we put this show on. It was a huge success. It was the first time I'd ever done anything myself in Adelaide that had like a line of people out the door and, curling around the street, people standing in the cold waiting to get in. And I just thought, yeah, this is actually a bit extra. This is a bit special, I think. So
Wow.
and the musicians that I brought into the fold to do it with me are very high caliber, hardworking people, and they put a lot of hard work into it. And I was kind of sort of floating around like this is a one and done, this is a one special thing. It would be if you were there, you were there, and if you weren't, you weren't. And Sean Timms, who's basically the MD of the show, he was like, I wrote a lot of charts out for this, so you're gonna have to do this definitely more than once. And so here we are, like 3 years later, going strong.
Okay, so big question for you, all right? I'm going to put you in the hot seat.
Hmm.
Whispering Jack. or Age
Hmm.
of Reason? What album?
Oh, probably it's look, I would say I could probably answer that in two ways. Whispering Jack for the significance, it was the Whispering Jack was the moment John and his wife and his young children, were they aware of it or not, knew we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. And then Age of Reason was just like this is not a fluke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had
So
something.
I would say, yeah, I think like yeah, Age of Reason, like musically, Whispering Jack, um, yeah, I don't know, significance, yeah,
No, I mean, obviously, taking on somebody like John Farnham, and we must say this is not a tribute show. This is a celebration of his music. You don't pretend you're John Farnham. You sing and reinterpret his beautiful music, as does the band and the other singers on stage with you as well. Because this is Shaun Holton and friends
yeah,
performing Farnsey.
yeah.
When you're putting the set list together of the Farnsey songs, the John Farnham songs, how do you go about, like, how do we start the show? How do we finish the show? What's the encore? What songs can we possibly put in? What songs have to be missed out? How do you go about doing the set list?
So we had a fair bit of lead up time before we did the first one. So I had a little conversation with my mum, being that the first one was specifically, a big gift for her. So, I basically asked her, what could I possibly not get away with not doing? Outside of the obvious things, you're the voice, that's freedom, what has to be in there? And so I basically put this like Spotify playlist together that I shared with the band just to kind of get their head around where I was thinking, and it would just be on. And so I'd pop it on while I was doing the dishes. I'd put it on while I was out doing the gardening or whatever, and I would just basically imagine us doing it in whatever order I had this playlist in, and I would wait for moments where like it lost my attention, or there was a dip, or it's like, and originally I had like five ballads in a row, and we were like, that's just not gonna work. So I just wanted to make sure that it was engaging the entire time. I wanted people to be excited when it started, and then just captivated. And I just wanted there to be a moment where, if there was ever a moment where we're like, this has been a bit intense for a few songs in a row, I'll just give people a break to just stop and watch for a second. And then we just, flip it on its head again and blow their head off by the time we get to the end again.
So tell us about the friends. Who are the people involved in the band? Who are the other singers, musicians, all of that?
Yep. So the core crew's been the same since the very first one. We've got Damien Steele Scott on bass. He's a veteran around town. He's played with some of the biggest names around the world, and pretty much everything notable here in South Australia and outside. We've got Shaun Timms, who is one of the most renowned producers, composers, and pianists that you'll find anywhere. He's basically our David Hirschfelder. And we've got Priyanka Luxx,
Oh,
who's been a long, 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 long lifetime friend of mine and my family, and she's just a lovely singer, and just a beautiful
oh,
energy,
her voice is divine.
isn't it? Yeah, it's so sweet,
Yeah.
so sweet. It's so sweet, but a little bit twisted, just a little bit twisted.
We
You're
all like
like,
a bit of
there's,
twist.
yeah, there's just something. It's very sweet, but there's a darker, there's a bit of dark chocolate in there, I think maybe. Um, we've also got Zkye Compson-Harris, who really needs no introduction. She is the diva
Whoa.
of divas. But yeah, like, man, she can sing stuff that like most people can't sing up on the high register. But then if you ask, and she's more than happy to, if you ask Zkye to sing like a man, Oh boy. And in our show, we definitely ask Zkye to sing like a man, you know. She handles a bit
Seriously.
of John Stevens for us. She does a bit of Barnsey. Um, it's Shaun and Friends, but it's also in some ways become kind of like a Farnsey and Friends song. If there is any through line to like whether it be Dragon or Little River Band or Barnsey, Noiseworks, you know, we've found our in there. We also have basically kind of like a core band that I've had for maybe the last 15 years. Catlouise, Luke Whelan, Chris Lau, and we've got them on guitar, drums, guitar, vocals. Catlouise is basically the Swiss Army knife of the band. You can give her a guitar, you can give her a keyboard, she'll harmonize, she can arrange all of the vocalists. She hears all the things that nobody else is really able to hear. And then outside of that, we've also pulled in other guests and people. We've had Nikki Cosmata-Hughes in the past. We've also had my good friend Andy Seymour, and Kat's brother pops up from time to time with a harmonica. That's John Z. So yeah, it's just this big extended rotating family of people coming in and out. You never know what you're going to see at this show. You know, you'll see the things if you've seen it before. You'll see the things that you loved and you know hoped went longer. But we're going to surprise you every time.
I like it. So, what is your favorite song to perform?
It's I would say it has become That's Freedom. That's Freedom. I think is actually, dare I say it, I think it's actually an even bigger song than You're the Voice. You're the Voice is kind of like the big international beacon. It was the thing that kind of like propelled this new, like John, not Johnny Farnham, into the stratosphere. But having done this show a few times now, You're the Voice obviously is this moment, and the second people hear that, you know, people just erupt. But I gotta say that it really peaks in energy when we play That's Freedom, and that's got to be the most fun for me, I think.
So many iconic songs. I'm going to tell you my couple of favorites that I've seen you perform.
Yeah.
One, of course, is when everybody is involved, the Jesus Christ Superstar song, Everything's All Right. Like, just
Mm.
wow. Um, and Burn for You. I mean,
Yeah,
lyrically, Burn
yeah,
for You is just such a gorgeous, gorgeous song. And the way that you
yeah,
treat that respectfully is just amazing. So,
yeah.
you can dedicate that one for me at the Regal Theatre show, Mister. This one's
No
got
problem.
Marcus. So it is for Saturday, the 1st of November at 2 o'clock, a matinee session, and 8 o'clock
Hmm.
at the Regal Theatre, Kensington Road, Kensington Park. I'm tremendously excited. Tickets are on sale at the moment. It's going to make an amazing an early Christmas gift for somebody, or a late Father's Day present for somebody. Get along, everyone.
Definitely, definitely come with somebody. You need people there with you. It's like it gets spiritual. It's religious. It's a gathering, and there's no show. I've done a lot of different things at this point, and nothing for me. And in the performers, we all feel the same. But I definitely know speaking to people in the audience when we hop off after that, people are just so elevated, positively elevated. It is just the best feeling. There's just
Brilliant.
yeah, it's edgy, it's rock and roll, it kicks ass, but like it's just so motivating.
And this is the first time the Farnsey show is playing a theatre, correct?
That is correct.
Exciting.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Another thing I know, word on the street, is absolutely there are the seated areas, but down the front, in front of the stage, there is actually a dance floor as well. So for those of you who
Brilliant.
think, oh no, I need to sit down all night, I don't want to, that's not really my cape, but I want to get up and move, there
Yep.
is a dance floor. So that's going to be super fun because let's
Yep.
be honest, I mean, who doesn't want to get up and like bang themselves away to
Oh God. Yeah.
classics?
But again, because we've got that set list there, and people have been asking me this as well about the layout and like, where do I want to be? And what they're asking me underneath it all, underneath the question of where should I sit, is what are my options going to be? Because I know that there's going to be a moment that I can't control myself. It doesn't matter whether I'm up the back or down the front. I'm going to have to get out of my seat and be a part of it all. But I know that there are moments where I'm just going to want to sit down and have it wash in. So it sounds like all options are available.
Shaun, are you excited for it?
I'm so excited. I'm so excited to finally be bringing this show into a theater. I think that's absolutely where it deserves to be. And it's just I don't know, just a huge goal kick for us to bounce our way into a theater. But not only that, we get to do it twice in one day. That's just spoiled. So spoiled.
You are going to need a massive big sleep in on Sunday morning, my friends.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The phone will be off on Sunday.
Yeah, like he's off, out of
Yeah.
action.
Yeah, yeah.
Shaun,
Daddy's resting. Daddy's been working nights.
yes. You are an absolute delight to chat with, as always. Shaun, I cannot wait. Like we said, Saturday, the 1st of November. Shaun Holton, and sorry, let me say that again. I don't know what I doubled up for there.
It's a mouthful.
Blah, 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 blah. Shaun, what an absolute delight as always. Shaun Holton and friends, Saturday, the 1st of November, 2 o'clock p.m. and 8 o'clock p.m. at the Regal Theatre. Cannot even wait. The show is called Farnsey. Get your tickets, everyone. So many John Farnham classic hits. You're going to hear a couple of surprises and maybe even one of the early ones as well, possibly. Get along, everyone. Shaun, thank you so much for your time. I cannot even wait for the show.
No worries. Look, I'll just leave you with a great piece of advice for all of your audience out there. If you're asking yourself, what's better than seeing Farnsey one time on November 1st? Well, seeing it twice.
Thing for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Shaun. Have a fabulous upcoming weekend, and I cannot wait to catch up with you very soon.
Cheers, Marcus.
See you,
Keep
my
doing what
friend.
you're doing. I love your work, buddy.